All right, this week's guest on the Fly Shields Fly podcast has been a host favorite from the rip. By way of Fort Worth, Texas, he studied and suited up for the Timber Creek High School Falcons. Being in a large 6A school didn't stop him from rising to the cream of the crop, padding stats on his way to all district honors, all state offensive MVP awards, and a letter of intent to Texas Tech, bringing him a few hours west on 82 to Lubbock to join Cliff Kingsbury's Red Raiders. Although coaching changes may have hindered others, not him. In 3 years and 33 games as a starter, he amassed 136 receptions, 2,117 yards, and 14 touchdowns, leading his team in receiving in 2019, 2020, in 2021, putting him on the Bolitnikoff watch list and good for second in the entire Big 12 football conference in receiving yards during that 3-year span. He then declared for the NFL draft, having been selected in the 4th round by the Miami Dolphins. After 3 seasons in Miami, he then moved to the northern part of the Sunshine State to suit up for the Jaguars in 2025 before signing with the UFL and the DC Defenders in 2026. He's an impact player on special teams through returning kicks, the passing game through his precision route running and contested catch ability, and the running game through his physical and aggressive blocking. Some say it's simply too easy out there for him. Shields Up Nation, please welcome the pre-snap PG number 13, but rated R between the whistles, Erik Ezukanma.
Let's go.
Appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. So I don't know if you've ever gotten an intro quite like that. I don't know how often you're doing podcasts, but
that was awesome.
I saw your face lit up a little bit on that one.
So Jordan, I'm going to cut you off. I know we talked about when I was going to do this, but I think it's best we do it first. Easy.
Get into it.
All right. So I know your nicknames. Easy, obviously, Eazy-E. I myself am an Eazy-E, lead rapper of NWA, appreciator. So what I did was I took 2 Eazy-E songs and I changed the lyrics to be about you.
Nah, for real.
Are you ready for this? This is not even ChatGPT. This is me. This is all me. It's going to be cringy, but we're here for it. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
Blocking downfield in his 1-3, running back kicks, juking DBs. Went to Audi to beat the storm. Quarterback drops back, hits easy to score. I heard Coach Keiss call the play. I ran my route with integrity, blocking hard as hell and make defenses ask what was it. DBs, you should know by now. Easy does it.
Easy.
Hey, bars,
fire.
Coach Mars. Oh,
snap. That's fire.
That's 101.
That's the one.
So yeah, this is obviously the best intro we've had yet, for sure. You killed that. You killed that. Good work.
All right.
Good work. All right, now that we're recovering from that illustrious rap session from Coach Mars, I didn't know you had it like that. Let's get into the questions. I'm sweaty. I just came in from practice with my guys. We heard about your crazy high school career, your crazy college career. I got my kids starting to listen to this, so I always like to get a perspective of a pro going back through time to your whole high school career, college career. When was it for you when you realized, one, you could be a pro ball player, and when did you fall in love with the game?
I started playing football in 2nd grade, about 6 years old. And honestly, it was just a natural ability that I had to just run away from people and score touchdowns. So honestly, I knew at a young age that I could, but I had to keep working and keep going at it every day, and taking sacrifices, not partying and getting into activities that most people used to get into in order to fulfill the dream that I had at a very young age.
That's what's up. The sacrifice is huge. 'Cause, I mean, that's the only way you get to a goal that's been since 2nd grade. You're what, 10 years old at that age, if that?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. That's awesome.
Easy. I want to take you from 10 years old up until high school here. So you're talking to 2 guys that are very attached to their numbers, Jordan 42 and me 61. I know you were 13 in high school, and then whenever you've had the chance, you've gone back to 13. So I would love to know the lore behind you picking that number. I know that there may or may not be some bleached hair involved here,
Come on.
and then
Yeah.
maybe what that number means to you now after having it become a part of your journey.
Number 13, uh, in high school, obviously Odell Beckham Jr. one-hand catch versus the Cowboys as a rookie. He's probably done everything any receiver would want to do in a career, and especially at a young age in high school. His hairstyle, the swag, the way he ran routes, the way he caught the ball, like it was everything that I want to replicate my game after, and I kind of indulged in that to where it was like, if I'm gonna do this the right way, if I'm gonna be, you know, in the NFL one day, I basically replicated my favorite player. And I feel like I literally watched this tape before every game, before going out, the night before, and then like it would replicate in the game. I would just start doing it, like trying things to see if I can do these things. And honestly, my highlight tape that year was crazy. So honestly, like it really gave me the confidence that I can put on this number and play, if not like him, or try to surpass him in the way he played. So it was awesome.
That's a great inspiration to have, especially as a high school receiver. Like he was going absolutely crazy at LSU. He went crazy as a rookie. And really, like you said, he had a wild career. People, I think, kind of get a little wrapped up on him when he left the Giants and think that he wasn't him. But even when he was older and at the Rams, he was still out here giving DBs work. And you mentioned his route running ability. For you, there's so many things that go into being a receiver. You look at the combine, you look at the guys who have like the 4.21, the 4.24 40 times. They're not always the best receivers. What is it to you that makes a great receiver? What's the skill set? I know it changes depending on the particular receiver, but what are the must haves to be successful at that position?
Mostly, it's the reactive ability of understanding that you have to be one of the best athletes on the field at any given moment. If that means you have to block, or if you have to catch the ball and make people miss, I feel like you have to have all the intangibles of as a regular, athlete in any sport. Really, you have to jump, catch, run, cut, and use your size in order to manhandle DBs, in order to open the run game up for the running back. So you just have to have all the intangibles in order to play the game as a receiver. And nowadays height isn't everything, but I feel like as time goes, it changes, it goes back, history repeats itself. So like 6'3" receivers will be back out there in the NFL more often than not. But to go back on the 13, I didn't answer the question that you asked me about why I wear it today.
The second part, yeah, like what's it mean to you now that you've
What's it mean to me
you know
now? Yes. Honestly, I don't know. Sorry.
that's
I
real
want
though.
I wanted to go back, but I didn't really have an answer for that. But
It's
yeah,
just the
so
nostalgia. You started
yeah,
wearing it, you kept wearing it.
I kept
It just
wearing it, yeah.
becomes part of you.
For
I
sure.
get it.
For
It's on my
sure.
email. Got it's all in my passwords. Oh, I shouldn't put that out there.
It's not in my passwords.
Your numbers, and the whole thing. It's fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess the hackers.
Yeah. Sorry, I stopped it. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Well, I do want to talk about one of those intangibles that me and Jay have identified in you from starting to watch you your first game with the Defenders, and it's a skill we preach to our kids, and it's just something that I feel like can't be taught. Eventually, a player needs to get on board with it, and that's how you play without the ball in your hands. Um, like I even think of that play, that big Briley Moore play where
Love it.
you had that block on the edge that really unlocked that play, and then you were rewarded later in that drive with that touchdown catch um, by the football gods. But can you talk about like how you got that habit of playing just as hard without the ball in your hands? then when the ball is thrown your way. Is that just something you've picked up over time in yourself, from teammates, from coaches? Like,
Yeah. Growing up, you playing receiver, blocking isn't probably your favorite thing to do. And you know, being at the height of my career up until the NFL, I didn't really have to block. And then you get to the NFL and you're a fourth round draft pick, you know, and you have Tyreek Hill and guys that can do the job, if better than you, if not like, lesser than you. So it's like uh you have to be selfless in yourself to where it's like, what can I do to help this team win? And, my coach, Wes Welker, and Mike McDaniel, they were always preaching the block. And it didn't really stick early in my career, and it started to stick later. And honestly, it opens so many avenues for guys that are just trying to, make a team, or, you know, or they're on the bubble and they want to make the bus or make the plane. See, blocking and just being on special teams, blocking and tackling, honestly, if you're an offensive guy, if you can do those two things on any NFL roster, or even in their college ranks, it never goes unnoticed.
That's huge. Just being a ball player, like just being a blocker, a tackler, is gonna get you rewarded. And I still think about that play to Briley where you really did spring it. And like I try to preach that so much. I have my offensive linemen and my receivers work on run blocking together, right? We make sure that that's part of the game because that opens up so much else in the game, both as a player if you can do more, but it also makes the whole team just more effective, more efficient. And I think it's fun. It makes you, it gets you excited, right? When you know you're the guy who sprung the play for the guy who made the play,
For sure.
that's a good feeling. And I feel like that's what
Sure.
makes offensive line so fun, but it can also be what makes downfield blocking for a receiver so fun. Um, we're getting towards the end of the regular season. What's been like your highlight so far for this season with the Defenders?
Going into game two versus Columbus, and hitting the returner on the kickoff that I did. Honestly, it was just, I kind of surprised myself on how basically I was trying to play as hard as I possibly could, because mind you, I was after the Jaguars, like, there's a period where you're just stagnant and you're not playing, and you're trying to find the next opportunity. So when the opportunity came, I wanted to, leave my mark and show, the DC fans, who's this guy. I wanted to make an instant impact if that was anywhere on the field, and it just ended up being that play.
That's
mm.
awesome. That was a hell of a hit. Great play.
Easy, I wanted to ask you about your time at Texas Tech. I mean, incredible production over your 3 years as a starter. But then I'm noticing too, when I'm in the weeds, that I mean, you went through, in those 3 years, you had three different head coaches, but your production stayed out of this world. When for other guys, if you bring in new coaches, new scheme, they might have their guys, they might have their ways of doing things, but your
Yeah.
production stayed the same. What do you credit that to? Despite these leadership changes, you're still able to do your thing, and produce.
Kind of going back to what Jordan said, just got to be a ball player. You just got to adapt to any scenario. And I was kind of mentioning being reactive of, any situation that comes about. Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury recruited me. I redshirted that year, and they bring in a new coach, and Matt Wells, and I'm a young player at that time, so I kind of just adapted and bought into his culture. And the one thing that you have to do is buy in to, whatever your coach, your head coach, and the coaches want in the culture, in order to, be successful. You can't be rebellious, or kind of shy away from the pressure of the standard that they're trying to set for you. So, I just adapted, and I appreciate, all the coaches for the opportunities they gave me in order to make it to the level that I'm at today.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for joining the show today. Before we wrap things up, is there anything you want to say to the people who listen to the pod or the DC fans in general?
Man, I just want to say I appreciate y'all coming out to the games, supporting us. People are watching at home. We want to bring y'all a championship this year and go back to back.
3 to go. 3 wins, and we did it.
Come on.
Good luck the rest of the way. Easy. Thank you for
So,
hopping on the pod. Safe travels up to
appreciate that.
DC, and go get it done.
Right back in
Gotcha.
the mix. Thanks, Easy.
Come on, I need them lyrics.
I'm,
Got it. I'm gonna text
I'm
you.
gonna send it to Sarah, and then she'll get it to you.
Say less. Say less.
All
All
right.
right.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
y'all.
listening. Shields up. Mike's
Shields
down.
up, baby.
Easy does it.
Come on. Turn up.